Hi.
He's just chilling on me. I have another friend, he's a guy that I'll bring out later, that actually, you know, brings a lot of the rescue animals that he's taken from me, especially the iguanas, because, again, it's hard to find kind-hearted people that can take the monsters from me. Found one, which I'm sure I'm going to give you a couple more before it's over.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
And then I got another guy that he was taking one or two of them a year from me, you know, and some of them, just like you say, you don't know how long that you got with them. So, being that, I believe he's like 10 years old, though, because the woman told me he was at least 8 years old on squash. So I'm thinking he's at least 10 or so years old.
People always have a hard time with
Again, abused in a sense. So that cuts the time down, too. But I've seen miracles in this business. I've seen animals do things that I was just impressed with that I didn't think they could do. And in my mind, you know, if you use your heart and your mind, you can end up with a really great specimen. And, you know, again, commitment, and research. That's all I can really say about it, you know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get another animal out for you guys. And maybe I'll bring Darren into this and let him tell you how his experience has been around some of the, you know, iguanas and stuff like that over the years. He was the guy that, like I said, you know, did a lot of wonderful things for my cause, you know. I ain't got much money, you know. All my extra money comes into what I'm doing here.
But you work real hard at the rescue. All the cages are always clean. The animals
well, not really.
Well
fed. I try, but they are well fed. That's definite. You know, I do feed them well. But as quick as I clean a cage, they mess it up. So, you know, I do put the animals out that are neglected or sick just so people can watch me make the process too, or the progress. And some people look at me like, oh my God, he's doing it, but they don't realize where I got it from, you know. So it's like,
absolutely.
I do pretty well, and you know, if you want to see for yourself what people say about me, just Google search the name Swords and Dreams Reptile Rescue. Click on to all links, look at the reviews. I don't think to date I have one bad one. I'm sure somebody will have to prove me wrong on that one and probably put something out there mean about me, but already I'm sorry for what I did to you too, so I hope you don't put it out there, but either way, just read the reviews. Some people are starting to leave tips out there, which is real cool, and they're starting to tell people, like the home remedy that you did, you know, with the Neosporin. That's something I've known for a long time myself. Another thing you were starting to talk about, which again, home remedy, you can take an actual multivitamin pill that humans take and crush it.
The Flintstone vitamin for kids?
Sure, anything like that. You crush it, and that works almost the same as that calcium powder because you get multivitamin again, and it won't harm the animal, and really good stuff, you know.
Cost is going to be a little bit higher if you start feeding your iguana Centrum daily.
Right. Another plug for Centrum, I guess, on accident, but, you know.
Absolutely.
It's really for the animals, too. You know, these are just things that you can do that will actually help you, you know, make your animal better. You can even use a cheap little weak one that any, you know, pharmaceutical has over the counter, you know, but really it could be costly. All of it is. So again, commitment. Think about the cost, think about your room, think about the space, and think about the animal, because that's the one thing that nobody, well, I shouldn't say nobody, but a lot of people seriously take for granted, and that's where we got to start thinking about it, the animal. Don't do it to be cool, please. Do it because you can afford to do it. Do it because you have the right environment for it. Don't do it just to have an iguana. Don't do it to be the cool kid on the block.
Right, it's not a passing phase.
No.
They're going to live 15, 20 years at best.
Yep.
They require a lot of cost, a lot of attention.
Yep.
But they are, again, fantastic pets. They're very low maintenance.
Yep.
A lot easier to care for than a dog. A reptile vet is always a good thing to have for certain emergencies. Very hard to find. Iguanas will fall from, again, their nice high limbs. They'll see an orange and dive for it.
Oh, yeah.
I've known iguanas to break arms going for food.
Yep.
So a reptile vet's a good thing to have, and again, that's going to be another cost.
And as the iguanas get bigger too, think about that with your cage, because you said it was a big 7-footer. As they get bigger, and people don't realize it, even in the wild, you'll watch these guys fall out of a tree. Because they seriously are so big that they fall because they're getting clumsy. So make sure you got nice wide areas for squash to sit.
By all means.
And looks like my guy's trying to make an escape. So I'm going to have to re-rescue this guy here from my place and put him in his cage. See you in a bit. Well, we're back, and we got this beautiful specimen in front of me. I had to wrestle him out of the cage next to us. I was going to bring his girlfriend out, which is a beautiful, beautiful gray female, like silver head and everything. She's phenomenal. She's got a gut on her like all heck, and I bet you it's full of eggs by now because he's been a little sassy fella here. But when I went to pull her out, again, you remember I said that thing about gloves, you know, protect yourself? Well, here's the perfect example again why you should wear gloves. Tom decided to, thinks he knows everything type situation, reaches in the cage and of course gets the boo-boos. I'll need that neosporin that we were talking about earlier. But it ends up that, oh, I scared him a little. This iguana came in from an actual sheriff. Not that she needed it rescued, she just found that she, didn't have enough time anymore. And she did a remarkable job with Parker, and that's this guy's name is Parker. Parker and me, I'm thinking about doing shows with him, and he's obviously getting in the mood too because he's coming to his daddy. Parker lived with girls basically, so he's never really been around males. And the person that brought him in was actually very impressed that he would even deal with me at all. And as time came along, this is actually the first time in about 3 months that I've taken Parker out of his cage. I wanted to bring him out on his own. I wanted him to walk out on his own. I wanted to gain his trust. That's something you really got to do with these animals. You know how I gain their trust? And we never really discussed that as we went along during all this stuff today is I like to potty train them. And the way that I do it is when you wake up in the morning and you know how you turn on all your reptile lights and you get in there and you get ready for work yourself and you go into the bathroom and you take care of your beard and your hair and you go to the bathroom and all that stuff. You know, the average person spends a half hour in the bathroom on the reel. So why not turn the iguana lights on, turn around and go into the bathroom, run the water in the bathtub on an iguana like this big. You probably put about that much water up in there. And what you got to do is bring a thermometer along too, because I don't want people to just think they know water temperature, because that can shock the animal if it's too cold or too hot. Because they are cold-blooded animals, so they can't change temperature dramatically, because it will shock their system. Try and keep it at the same temperature as about 86. I like a minimum temperature of 86 in my cages, and a top temperature of about 100. I mean, these guys can go to about 120 with no problem. This one here is posturing to where it might take a poop on my table. If it does, you can see how it works from both ends. He's eating a little bit on the table, and well, he might run out the rest on the table. But really the big thing is, what you do is you put these iguanas in that bathtub, and moisture content starts to soak into their skin, which is a great thing. And they turn around, and everyone's laughing because they know that I'm probably right about what I said. So the bets are on about if this lizard's going to take a dump. So before it happens, why don't you put a bet on it? Is it going to happen or not? Right here, live on the set. Doesn't matter to me because that's what they do. But I'm going to bet that it happens for sure because I said that it would happen. And really, this guy here, I would bond with normally getting him out by himself. But I like the bathtub technique to where the bathtub actually works as a great way for them to pick up moisture, pick up exercise because they like to swim and stuff. And if they do poop, it's generally a runny poop, kind of like an egg. And you can pull the drain plug and basically your troubles go right down the drain. You do that for like 2 weeks in a row, I guarantee your animal will be potty trained.